Hello students. Yesterday we had discussed about the acceleration. We had also discussed about the acceleration in which uniform acceleration and a non-uniform acceleration, as well as the positive acceleration we had discussed, in which the final velocity must be more as compared to that of the initial velocity, which will give the positive acceleration. Then we had discussed about the negative acceleration, in which the final velocity, if the value of the final velocity is less as compared to that of the initial velocity, then the acceleration will be negative. Okay, so on the basis of that, we are having some numericals that is related to that of the acceleration. See here, so the first numerical is a train starting from a railway station and moving with a uniform acceleration attains a speed of 40 km per hour in 10 minutes. Find its acceleration. So you see here the train starting from a railway station. So at first the train, it starts from the railway station. It means at railway station the train was at rest position. So the initial velocity will be 0 km per hour. Okay, so initial velocity is 0 km per hour, and after that with it start moving with a uniform acceleration, and it attains a speed of 40 km per hour. That is, now the final velocity is a 40 km per hour in 10 minutes. So time is equals to 10 minutes. Now we have to convert all these into the SI unit, that is, we will convert the minute into second, we will convert the kilometer per hour into meter per second. Okay, now see here, when we convert the 10 minute into seconds, so 10 into 60, this will give us 600 seconds. Now see here, if you want to convert to that of the kilometer per hour into meter per second, we already had discussed, then we will multiply that kilometer per hour into 5 by 18. That will convert the kilometer per hour into meter per second. Why is it so? Because 1 kilometer per hour is equals to 5 by 18 meter per second. So you see, the first initial velocity is the 0 km per hour. So when we multiply the 0 km per hour into 5 by 18 meter per second, even then also the value we get will be the 0 meter per second. In case of a final velocity, that is equals to 40 km per hour. So when we multiply this 40 into 5 by 18, then we get the value that is 200 by 18 meter per second. So now see here, the initial velocity is equals to 0 and the final velocity is equals to 200 by 18 meter per second. Now by using the formula and the formula of the acceleration, that is, we know that acceleration is equals to final velocity minus that of the initial velocity, or A is equals to V minus U upon T. Okay, so final velocity is 200 by 18 and initial velocity is 0. So 200 by 18 minus 0 upon 600, because 10 minutes can convert it into second. So we will get 200 by 18 into 600, and that will be equals to 1 by 54 or 0.0185 meter per second square. This is the value of the acceleration of the body. Okay. So you see here, the value of the acceleration here it gave is a positive one. Okay, so this kind of acceleration is a positive acceleration. And why is it so? You can see the value of the final velocity is 40 kilometer per hour and that of the initial velocity is 0 kilometer per hour. So speed is continuously increasing. So you can say that it is a positive acceleration, and you can see here the resultant that came is also is positive. Now we will take another example here. It is very much similar to the first one, that a car is moving at a speed of a 6 meter per second, and in 5 seconds he increases the speed to 60 meter per second. What is the acceleration? So at first the car was moving at a speed of a 6 meter per second. So the initial velocity is 6 meter per second. It is already in meter per second, so we don't have to convert it. And it increases its speed to 16 meter per second. So the final velocity is 16 meter per second, while that of the time taken is equals to 5 seconds. Okay, so these are the thing that is given, and on the basis of this we have to find the value of the acceleration. So now it is very easy to find it. Simply we have to put the value in the formula, that is final velocity minus initial velocity. Here it is written old, it means the initial only, upon time taken. Okay, so when we put the value, the final velocity was 16, the initial velocity was 6, and that is divided by the time taken, that is equals to 5. So this will give a value that is 2 meter per second square. Okay, and this is also a positive acceleration since the speed is continuously increasing from 6 meter per second to 16 meter per second. Now we will see another one. So if you see here, starting from a stationary position, Rahul paddled his bicycle to attain a velocity of 6 meter per second in 30 seconds. And then he applies brake such that the velocity of the bicycle came down to 4 meter per second in the next 5 seconds. Calculate the acceleration of the bicycle in both the cases. So here it is talking about that at the first case the bicycle was at the rest, and that it was a stationary position, it means it was at rest position, and then Rahul starts the bicycle and attained a velocity of a 6 meter per second in 30 seconds. So this is the first case. Okay, so in the first case you see the initial velocity is 0 meter per second, and the final velocity is 6 meter per second, and the time taken to reach to that of the final velocity or the change in the velocity, and that is equals to 30 seconds. So on the basis of this we can find the first case. Okay, so by putting the value of this we are able to find it, the initial and the final velocity it is given here. So final is 6, while that of the initial is 0, so 6 upon 30 will give the value that is 0.2 meter per second square. Then in the next case, if you see, here it is written, then he applies the brake, and he applies such that the velocity of the bicycle it comes down to 4 meter per second in the next 5 seconds. So in the case second, you see he already he was traveling with the velocity of a 6 meter per second. Okay, he was already traveling with the velocity of 6 meter per second. So the initial velocity, it means the velocity before he applies the brake, it was 6 meter per second. And when he applies the brake, the velocity lowers down or it comes down and reaches up to 4 meter per second. Okay, so he was traveling with this velocity and then he comes to this velocity. So initial velocity is 6 meter per second, while that of the final velocity is 4 meter per second. What is the timing here? Time is, you can see here, time is 5 seconds. Again, by putting the same value, you can see here the final velocity was 4, while that of the initial velocity is 6 meter per second upon the time taken is 5 seconds. So the value that it came is minus 2 by 5, that is equals to minus 0.4 meter per second square. So you see, in the acceleration in case of first it was 0.2 meter per second, while in second case it is minus 0.4 meter per second square. You can understand it with that at first the bicycle was at rest, and when he starts the bicycle, then start paddling, then the speed increases, the velocity increases, so that will gives a positive acceleration, and then he applies the brake, so velocity starts decreasing, and as the velocity decreasing, due to which that will show the negative acceleration or retardation. Now I'll see another numerical. So a car is running at a speed of 60 meter per second, and it applies brake, and finally it reaches to the speed of the 22 meter per second in 2 seconds. It is very much similar to the previous question. So initial velocity, that will be 30 meter per second, and the final velocity, because it applies the brake and reaches to this one, so velocity decreases, and the decreased final velocity is 22 meter per second. Time is given here, that is time is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, so see here, 22 is the final velocity, 30 is the old velocity or the initial velocity, divided by the time taken, that is equals to 2. So by this we can find the value, that is minus 8 by 2, which is equals to minus 4 meter per second square. Okay, so you see here it is a minus, so it is a negative acceleration, or we can say it is a retardation. So when the speed increases, this will show the positive acceleration. When the speed decreases, it will show the negative acceleration. Okay. So one more example is here. Now see here, a ball hits a wall horizontally at 6 meter per second. So ball, when hit the ball, it was moving with the velocity of 6 meter per second, and after that this ball get rebound. Okay, and it rebound horizontally at 4.4 meter per second. Okay, the ball was in contact with that of the wall at about 0.04 second. So what is the acceleration of the ball? So you see here, the initial velocity, there is no doubt about that, the initial velocity will be 6 meter per second. Okay, when we talk about the final velocity, then you see here the final velocity will be 4.4 meter per second, but here the sign will be negative, that is minus 4.4 meter per second, and it is due to the direction of the ball, because when you throw the ball at that time the velocity was increasing at the same direction of that of the speed, and due to which it will gives the positive acceleration, or we mention it a positive one, but after that it changes the direction just opposite to that of the previous direction, and due to which we write here minus. Okay, so the final velocity is minus 4.4 and the initial velocity is a plus 6.0 meter per second. time is already given here, that is 0.04 second. Now simply by putting the value here, v minus u upon t. So v is what? Minus 4.4. So here it is minus 4.4 minus 6.6 because minus u is there also. So minus 6.0 or 6 meter per second upon time, that is equals to 0.04 meter per 0.04 second. Okay, so it will comes minus 10.4 upon 0.04. Okay, so after multiplying it with 100 by 100, okay, so to make the calculation simple, then we get the value, and that value will be minus 260 meter per second square. Okay, so by these numerical, I hope you are able to understand that how can we find the value of the acceleration and how are we able to distinguish between the positive acceleration or the negative acceleration, or how we are able to put the sign while when we calculate that of the velocity or while calculating that of the acceleration. Okay, so this is the numericals on the basis of acceleration. Now we will talk about the uniform and non-uniform acceleration. Actually we already had discussed about it, but we will simply see here the kind of a graph which is made by that of the uniform and non-uniform acceleration. So we had discussed that the uniform acceleration, the rate of the change of the velocity, it remains constant. Okay, then that acceleration is known as uniform. It means the rate is uniform, so the acceleration will be a uniform acceleration, and the uniform acceleration shows the velocity time graph, that is a straight line. Okay, so this is the velocity, this is the time, and the time graph between these two is the straight path, which tells that the acceleration is uniform. Example is that if a ball is fall under free fall, we already had discussed that when an object is free fall, then, or if a object is rolling down by an inclined plane, at that time also, or a car if it is accelerating in a straight path, at that time also, that rate is a uniform, so that acceleration is also a uniform acceleration. So if such kind of a graph is mentioned anywhere and asked that what is this graph showing, is showing, since it is made between the velocity time graph, so it is showing the uniform acceleration. When we talk about the non-uniform acceleration, so if the rate of the change of the velocity that is changing with the time, if it is not uniform, that kind of acceleration is known as a non-uniform acceleration. Okay, and to represent the non-uniform acceleration, you can see here velocity time graph, the acceleration in it is curved. Okay, so it is curved. Here it was straight, here it is curved. Okay, so in a non-uniform acceleration, since the rate of change of velocity is not uniform, so the velocity time graph is also not uniform, so it will show a curved line. Okay, example of a non-uniform acceleration, we already had discussed that a car which is accelerating in a straight road with a traffic, okay, or when a car is accelerating in a crowded place, that kind of a acceleration is known as a non-uniform acceleration. So this is the graph which is showing the difference between that of the uniform and a non-uniform acceleration. Now we will talk about the equation of a uniformly accelerated motion. So basically, there are three equations for motion of those bodies which travel with a uniform acceleration. and these equation, it gives the relationship between the initial velocity the final velocity, okay, time taken, acceleration, as well as distance traveled by the bodies. Okay, so these equation of motion help in establishing the relationship between that of the initial velocity to that of the final velocity, the time taken, acceleration, and the distance travel. So the three equation of motion is basically, the first one is v is equals to u plus at. The second one is s is equals to ut plus half ut plus half at square. Here it is not 82, it is 80 square. Okay, later on I write it. The third one is the v square minus it should be in small, u square, that will be equals to 2as. Okay, it will be 80 square and v square u square is equals to 2as. V square minus u square is equals to 2as. So these are the three equation of motion of a body which is moving with a uniform acceleration, or which is traveling with a uniform acceleration. So at first we will start with the first acceleration of the motion, or first equation of motion. So the first equation of motion is v is equals to u plus at. And what is the role of this equation of motion? It gives the velocity acquired by a body in time t. So how can we derive this equation of motion? Student, let me tell you, this equation of motion is very important because the question related to it, numericals, as well as how to derive these equation of motion is always asked in the examination. Okay. So the first equation of motion, if we consider a body which is having an initial velocity u, and suppose this body is subjected to a uniform acceleration a, so after time t, it changes the velocity, and the final velocity it will becomes v. So now by the definition we knew it that acceleration is equals to change in velocity upon time taken. Change in velocity upon time taken. Okay, or we represent it by acceleration. Change in velocity means final velocity minus that of the initial velocity upon time taken. Okay, so this we can represent with the help of a symbol, that is a is equals to v minus u upon t. Okay, or we can write it like v is at is equals to v minus u, and again by rearranging it we will find that v is equals to u plus at. So this is the first equation of a motion, that is a v is equals to the at. Okay, so it is basically it is used to find the velocity which is acquired by a body in time t, the body having an initial velocity u and a uniform acceleration a. Okay, and in this equation 4 values are there. So if we are knowing the 3 value, any of the 3 value, then we can calculate the fourth value easily. If we are knowing the value of a v and we have to find the value of acceleration, we are knowing the value of v, or we are knowing the value of u as well as that of the t, so it will be very easy to find the value of a. So this will be for everyone, for anyone, like if we want to find the time or if we want to find the velocity, any of the velocity, initial or the final one. So out of the 4, if we are knowing the 3 values, then it will be very easy for us to find the next value. Now see the next, that is the second equation of motion. In second equation of motion, that is equals to S is equals to ut plus half at square. Basically this equation, it gives the distance traveled by a body in time t. Now consider a body is there which is having the initial velocity u and a uniform acceleration is there for time t, so that its velocity become v. Suppose that the distance traveled by a body in time, in this time, is equals to s, and the distance traveled by a moving body in time t can be found by its average velocity. So what is the average velocity? Average velocity is equals to initial velocity plus final velocity upon 2. So we already had discussed here that the initial velocity of the body is u, the final velocity is v, and average velocity can be calculated. So average velocity is equals to u plus v upon 2. Okay, now see here. Now we know that what is velocity? Velocity is equals to distance upon time. Okay, so if we want to find the value of this distance, then what we can do, we can write this is equals to distance is equals to velocity into time. The same thing has been done here. Distance travel is equals to average velocity into time, because velocity is equals to distance upon time, or distance is equals to velocity into time. Okay, so average velocity into time. So distance travel, we represent the distance travel by s, that will be equals to the average velocity. Earlier we had calculated the average velocity, and that is equals to u plus v upon 2 into time, that is represented by small t. Okay, now see here students. So this is the first equation. Now if we want to find the value, we know that the first equation of motion is what? V is equals to u plus at. So by putting the value of v in the equation first, we get s is equals to u is already here. In place of v, if we write here u plus at, this u plus at we had taken from the first equation of motion. Okay, we are putting the value of the first equation of motion in equation first. So u will remains the same. In place of v, we will write here u plus at upon t into t. Now when we open the bracket, then what will happen? First of all, you see here this u plus u, both u they will become 2u. Okay, so 2u plus at upon 2 into t. When you open the bracket, then this t will multiply with this 2u as well as with that of the at. Now it will become 2ut plus at square upon 2, or we can write it like this also. Wait a second. Here it was S was equals to 2ut plus 2ut plus at square upon 2. We can also write it like 2ut upon 2 plus at square upon 2. So by both of the matter we can write it like that. So 2ut upon 2, this 2 will cancel out, but this at square by 2 will remain here. So we can also write it like S is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, I think you have understood it by this. This 2 which we have taken collectively, it can be 2ut upon 2 plus at square upon 2. So this 2 and this 2 will cancel out, it will become ut. So it will be ut plus at square upon 2, and this upon 2 is beside to that of the at square. So we can also write it like ut plus half at square. Ut plus half at square. So this is the second equation of the motion, whereas this is the distance travel. So this second equation of motion is used to calculate the distance traveled by a body in time t. Okay, this equation help in solving a lot of the numerical problem.